On the review line today are alumni from the classes of 1999, 2004, 2005, and 2014. Members of these classes served not only in the Army, but in the Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Allied nations. Marking the 150th anniversary of the West Point Association of Graduates, 2019 is a year dedicated to honoring the past and preparing for the future of serving West Point and the Long Gray Line. The Corps of Cadets would like to express a sincere appreciation to all of them for their outstanding service to our nation. The commander of troops for today's parade is Brigade Commander, Cadet First Captain Dan Vanderwall from Glenelg, Maryland. His staff consists of the Brigade Executive Officer, Cadet Captain Austin Murock from Garner, North Carolina. The Brigade Adjutant, Cadet Captain Ruben Arderi from Naples, Florida. The Brigade Respect Captain, Cadet Captain Joshua De Silva from Toms River, New Jersey. Brigade Operations Officer, Cadet Captain Amira Mohammed from Staten Island, New York. The Brigade Logistics Officer, Cadet Captain Joshua Phillips from Chicago, Illinois. And the Brigade Information Systems Officer, Cadet Captain Charleston Rowe from Dedido, Guam. The reviewing party for today's review consists of Lieutenant General Darrell A. Williams, Superintendent of the United States Military Academy, Class of 1983. The President of 2A, Mr. Michael A. Fitz. Command Sergeant Major Jack Love, Command Sergeant Major of the United States Military Academy. Colonel Retired Todd Brown, the President of the West Point Association of Graduates, Class of 1985. Brigadier General Brett Sylvia, Deputy Commanding General of the 1st Cavalry Division. Command Sergeant Major Thomas Kinney, Command Sergeant Major of the 1st Cavalry Division. Brigadier General Curtis Buzzard, Commandant of the United States Corps of Cadets, Class of 1992. Master Sergeant Eric Salo, Senior Enlisted Leader of the United States Corps of Cadets. And Brigadier General Cindy Jebb, Dean of the Academic Board, Class of 1982. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for honors and remain standing for the play of our national anthem. Please feel free to sing along with us as it is played. Please be seated. In honor of all alumni returning for this year's homecoming, the band will now play one verse of Benny Hibbins' O, the oldest of West Point songs dating from 1838.
The pass and review serves two functions for the superintendent. Dismisses the cadets and at the same time provides an opportunity to inspect the state of discipline and training. As the cadets pass and review before the reviewing party, members of each unit will turn their head and eyes and salute on the command "Eyes right." The marches that will be played as the cadets pass and review are National Emblem, the official West Point March, Gary Owen, Tulane Fight Song, On Brave Old Army Team, and the Army Goes Rolling Along. The United States Military Academy Band is under the direction of the commander, Lieutenant Colonel Todd A. Addison, with the drum major, Staff Sergeant Nicole Calori. The 1st Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Eden Elizabeth Phillips from Blacksburg, Virginia. The regimental command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Benjamin Jones from Seattle, Washington. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Christopher Forden from Rancho Mirage, California. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Jacob Morgan from Grafton, West Virginia. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Hannah White from Greenville, South Carolina. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet 1st Sergeant Samuel Proul from Scottsdale, Arizona.
Be straight or be gone!
Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Brent Towery from Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet 1st Sergeant Matthew Razudiak from Baskin Ridge, New Jersey. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Delaney Marbach from Stevenson Ranch, California. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet 1st Sergeant Alex Morales from Tacoma, California. The 2nd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Seamus McGettigan from Ottawa, Illinois. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major James Larson from Richmond, Virginia. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain James Niemeyer from Birmingham, Michigan. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet 1st Sergeant Isaac Nawa from Reading, Pennsylvania. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Jacob Phillips from Savannah, Missouri. The 1st Sergeant is Cadet 1st Sergeant Daniel Mago from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Jacob Stauffer from Euclid, Ohio. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Joe Kemp from Rice Lakes, Wisconsin. The third battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Tyler Kopeshki from Havertown, Pennsylvania. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major John Burke from Waukee, New York. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Emma Powlis from Darien, Connecticut. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Chris Sharfin from Kona, Hawaii. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Yaviel Trinidad Vasquez from Guguas, Puerto Rico. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Ashby West from Virginia Beach, Virginia. The second regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Alex Albright from Copper Canyon, Texas. The regimental command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Elena Shala from Prizren, Kosovo. The first battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Brian Savage from South Windsor, Connecticut. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Mary Monard from Newville, Pennsylvania. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Ian McCool from Louisville, North Carolina. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Haley Cosma from Plattsmouth, Nebraska. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Samuel Humphreys from Sammamish, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Alexander Lease from Rochester, New York. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain William Moorhead from Clearwater, Florida. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Austin Henson from Bristol, Tennessee. The second battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Murray Johnston from Alexandria, Virginia. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Haley Watson from Jefferson City, Missouri. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Zabulon Morgan from Thompson Station, Tennessee. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Ryan Johnson from Tampa, Florida. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Robert Anderson from Greenwich, Connecticut. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Nathan Olasky from Freedens, Pennsylvania. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain John Ziermek from Ellington, Connecticut. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Queso Mateso from Fairborn, Georgia. The third battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Henry Smith from Alpharetta, Georgia. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Y. Soon from Jurong West, Singapore. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Danya Nichols from Arlington, Virginia. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Colin Limp from Wildwood, Missouri. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Truman Gabriel from Portland, Oregon. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Evan Martin from Dallas, Texas. Since the days of the American Revolution, flag bearers have been an important element in ceremonies. At the center of today's formation and bearing the national color is the United States Corps of Cadets Color Guard, commanded by the Cadet Captain Egil Johnson from Marietta, California. Marching with the colors is the Brigade Sergeant Major, Cadet Captain John Holman from Twins Lake, Wisconsin.
The 3rd Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Monty Potter from Graham, Washington. The regimental command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Connor Long from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Preston Butler from Albany, New York. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Felix DeVito from Farmington, Connecticut. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Nikita Perverson from San Diego, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Alexandra Martin from Tudot, Montana. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Ethan Blum from Springfield, Illinois. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Gabrielle White from Cleveland, Ohio. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Connor McDonald from Pipersville, Pennsylvania. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Trevon Turner from Bethesda, Maryland. The second battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Jason Green from Powderly, Texas. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Jason Axley from Hoover, Alabama. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Kyle Garwick from Claremont, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Brianna Burnett from Orlando, Florida. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Dalton Burke from Yelm, Washington. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Sky Merriman from Sarasota, Florida. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Hayes Greer from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Caroline Mitchell from Monterey, California. The third battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Jordan Tevens from Framingham, Massachusetts. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Narissa Sewitz from Michigan City, Indiana. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Zachary Aloma from Simi Valley, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Benjamin Hoffman from Cincinnati, Ohio. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Luke Rose from Fort Wayne, Indiana. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Grace Echeverria from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. The 4th Regiment is commanded by Cadet Captain Dion Paranon from Yuma, Arizona. The regimental command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Madeline Burns from Ridgefield, Connecticut. The 1st Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Jacqueline Hammer from Grays Lake, Illinois. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Stephen Rylander from Stowe, Ohio. Company A is commanded by Cadet Captain Ivanka Nasor from Cypress, California. The 1st sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Zachary Calderon from Jackson, Michigan. Company B is commanded by Cadet Captain Andrew Winsky from Fort Bragg, North Carolina. The 1st sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Patrick Duffy from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Company C is commanded by Cadet Captain Brody Rock from Ticonderoga, New York. The 1st sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Joshua Samasco from Glenwood, West Virginia. The 2nd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Zachary Tarble from Ashburn, Virginia. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Justin Cooper from Westchester, Pennsylvania. Company D is commanded by Cadet Captain Jerry Broussard from Manchester, New Hampshire. The 1st sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Dane Rickardson from Eagan, Minnesota. Company E is commanded by Cadet Captain Ashley Kim from San Antonio, Texas. The 1st sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Mark Jascott from Burke, Virginia. Company F is commanded by Cadet Captain Joshua Fonseca from Taneytown, Maryland. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Zachary Whitten from Bluffton, South Carolina. The 3rd Battalion is commanded by Cadet Captain Emily McKinney from Southlake, Massachusetts. The battalion command sergeant major is Cadet Command Sergeant Major Thomas Warren from Weston, Florida. Company G is commanded by Cadet Captain Joshua Mooney from Sparks, Nevada. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant Connor Yaus from Cincinnati, Ohio. Company H is commanded by Cadet Captain Brian Suarez from San Francisco, California. The first sergeant is Cadet First Sergeant David Wood from Eagle, Colorado. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the playing of the Army song, "The Army Goes Rolling Along." Please feel free to sing along as it is played. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's review. Black Knights Alley, located between gates 1 and 3 of Mikey Stadium, is now open and will close at kickoff. Come on up and support the Army football team as they prepare to take on the Green Wave of Tulane. Please remain in your seats as the United States Military Academy parachute team will now conduct a free-fall demonstration. We would like to remind everyone to please stay off the plane as you exit the parade grounds. Thank you for attending and enjoy the rest of your day. Go Army, beat Tulane.
Ladies and gentlemen, good morning. My name is Cadet Jordan Davis from Company I2, and it is my privilege and pleasure to narrate for you today this amazing demonstration of precision freefall accuracy performed by your West Point parachute team, the Black Knights. Please direct your attention skyward as 6 highly trained jumpers approach the plane in our LUH-72 Alpha the Lakota aircraft on their way up to an altitude of 4,500 feet. We are 1 minute from exit, and the Lakota is on jump run. The jump master is in communication with the jumpers through a series of hand and arm signals known as jump commands. His head is out in the wind as he gives a pilot precise adjustments to ensure the proper exit point. You can hear and see the Lakota flying across the sky as the jumpers wait for the exit command from the jump master. Stand by. And the jumpers are out. The team leader takes his heading and the remaining jumpers fly their bodies apart using their hands, arms, and legs as flight control. The team leader waves his arms, signaling the jumpers to deploy their parachutes. Ladies and gentlemen, we have 6 good canopies in the air. The team is piloting sport accuracy canopies. They control their flight into the plane with 2 steering toggles. Jumpers can pull either toggle in their desired direction to maneuver their canopy in the sky. The jumpers work together to create horizontal and vertical separation, making a formation known as the stack. The aircraft in today's demonstration is flown by pilots from the 2nd Aviation Detachment stationed at Stewart Airport. The team would like to thank our incredibly talented pilots for their dedication and support shown to the parachute team. Colonel retired Henmar Gabe Gabriel founded the Black Knights parachute team in 1958, and the team's founding marked the first ever military parachute demonstration team. The team has developed immensely over the years to allow the jumpers that you see in the sky now to maneuver their way into the plane with incredible precision. Each year, approximately 10 fourth-class cadets are chosen to become members of the Black Knights parachute team after a long and rigorous tryout process. At 1,000 feet, the jumper does what is called a penetration check, checking their distance and speed across the ground. The jumper starts their pattern with a downwind leg, followed by a base leg, and finishes their pattern by turning into the wind for their final approach. The first jumper has completed their pattern and is now on their final approach. At this height, the jumpers under canopy can definitely hear encouragement from the crowd. And leading in the stack today is Sergeant First Class Ian McGlynn. Sergeant First Class McGlynn is our team's non-commissioned officer in charge and has over 1,121 jumps. Let's welcome in Sergeant First Class McGlynn. Sergeant McGlynn lands right on target. And flying in next is Zach Hazard. Cadet Hazard is from Ellington, Connecticut, and is a member of Company B2. As Cadet Hazard finishes in his final approach, he's completing jump number 214. Let's get loud and welcome in Cadet Hazard! Coming in next in the base leg is Ben Peterson from Kansas City, Missouri. Cadet Peterson is a member of Company B1 and today is completing jump number 218. Jumper is in his final approach. Put your hands together and get loud for Cadet Peterson! Another gorgeous landing. Flying in next is Connor Yaus from Cincinnati, Ohio. Cadet Yaus is a member of Company G4. Today, Cadet Yaus is completing jump number 240. Put your hands together for Cadet Yells. Now, folks, is what's known as PLS. Up next in a second, Matt Blavis from Rochester, New York. Cadet Blavis is a member of Company C2. Today is completing jump number 238. Get loud and put your hands together for Cadet Blavis. Finishing the sack today for your Black Knight and jumping our nation's colors is Sophie Handel from Druid Beach, Florida. Cadet Handel is a member of Company F1. Today she's completing jump number 258. Get loud for our final member and put your hands together for Cadet Handel. And a gorgeous catch and landing. Ladies and gentlemen, show your support for the Wings of West Point to pause the second aviation session formal flyby. Let's give our jumpers another round of applause for a job well done. This concludes today's demonstration. On behalf of the Black Knights Parachute Team, thank you for your support. Blue skies and go Army, lead Tulane.